Price is the most important decision we will make as marketers. It's the only marketing activity that brings money into a company. Every other activity costs the company money. But pricing is also one of the most misunderstood fields of the business. It seems deceptively simple. After all, it's just a number. But behind that number must lie important considerations. Yet many companies actually devote the least amount of time to it. In this course, you'll gain an appreciation of the considerations that lie behind pricing. You'll see how good practices can transform every type of business, big or small. And you'll see how many companies don't actually have good practices. In addition to this, the characters and stories in this course will show how important pricing is. You'll journey with us to the scenic mountaintops of southern Italy, where Alessandro the mango seller will teach us about the relationship between price and value. You'll meet Bob the baker, who will show us how a clever understanding of business models helped him transform his bakery into the artisan store it is today. You'll step into the shoes of a newly minted CEO, coming face to face with a competitor for the first time. Watch how, like a game of chess, each must be able to predict each other's moves in the risky game of price setting. You'll spend a day with Fiona the fish seller in the lovely port of Ferncombe. See how she uses her knowledge of the volume-price trade-off to determine the perfect price for her fish. Those are just some of the characters you'll meet in this fresh new take on pricing strategy. And who am I? Well, I'm Dr. Marcel Cohen. I've been teaching marketing at Imperial College London for many years. But before I joined the academic world, I spent a lot of time in the field. In the 80s, I spent a decade working for Shell UK. This was an era when a customer-oriented culture was virtually non-existent. I was put in a position where I was able to be a customer champion, demystifying customer wants and needs for my colleagues. This period gave me a valuable insight into the corporate world. I was able to clearly see where many disconnects between business and customers arise. In 1990, I joined London's Imperial College as a lecturer, and I've had the privilege of teaching over 3,000 business students the principles which will appear in this course. Even after I began my teaching career, I continued my work in the field, acting as a consultant on many interesting cases. I created price models for both Shell UK and Eurostar. I even spent a year in court where I had to defend Shell UK's pricing practices against an antitrust lawsuit. This meant spending a lot of time explaining the mechanisms behind pricing to all sorts of courtroom characters, the very mechanisms that you will be learning in this course. You'll learn how your business model affects your prices, when you should worry about price wars, how to know if you have a structural advantage, whether cost-based pricing or value-based pricing is right for you, how to determine the elasticity of your product, how to perform conjoint analysis on a new product, what makes your customers tick, and other interesting topics in the world of pricing. So get ready for an interesting journey into pricing strategy.